let's try a long division problem that has a remainder. I've already taken example 3 and written it out with a division bar, and I've also already highlighted a couple things. So, reminder, first step is where I do this multiplication stuff, where the first term goes in the first parentheses, the second first term goes in the end, and I'm going to think 3x times what gives me 3x cubed. Well, I know that's x squared. 3x times x squared is 3x cubed. And what you write there goes up in the top. Make sure you line it up with the x squared column. Next step, distribute or multiply. So x squared times 3x is 3x cubed. X squared times 2 is 2x squared. Next step is subtraction or change the signs. So change that to a negative, change that to a negative. Now I combine them. 3x cubed minus 3x cubed cancels just like it's supposed to. 5x squared minus 2x squared is 3x squared. And then I bring down my 8x and I do it all over again. So I start with my multiplication, but I have a new orange one. The pink one stays 3x. And now I think 3x times what is 3x? Oh, that's supposed to be a squared. Let me fix that, guys, real quick. There we go. So 3x times what is 3x squared? Well, that would be an x. So I write it up here in the x column. And now I distribute. X times 3x is 3x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Next step is to subtract, aka change the signs. So 3x squared minus 3x squared, those cancel just like they're supposed to. 8x minus 2x is 6x. Bring down the positive 7 and do it all over again. Once again, I have a new orange one. Set up my multiplication. The pink one stays. The orange one changed. And now I have 3x times what is 6x? Well, that's 2. So I'm going to write my plus 2 up here. Now I distribute. So 3x times 2 is 6x. 2 times 2 is 4. Now I subtract, aka change the signs. 6x minus 6x is canceled, just like it's supposed to. 7 minus 4 is 3. Now I don't have anything else to drag down, which means I have a remainder this time. So, just like we talked about in elementary school, you had a couple different ways you could write remainders. For equations, you always write your remainder as a fraction. How that works is you write your answer, x squared plus x plus 2. Then you're going to have your fraction, where your remainder is the numerator, and what you divided by is the denominator. Now, when we just have numbers, you were done. With equations, you have one extra thing you need to add, and that's that you need a plus in front of your fraction. And there we go. Okay, let's do example 8. So, setting up example 8, x minus 1 divided by x to the 4th minus 6x squared plus 3x minus 1. And I have actually already made a mistake, and here's why. You might have remembered last chapter we talked about placeholders. A placeholder, such as with 2020, is a 0 that's holding the place. It doesn't mean anything, but I still need it there. I can't write 2020 as 22. Those are different. I need the 0 in there as a placeholder, holding that place. Well, if I look at these exponents, I have x to the 4th, then I have x squared. I'm missing an x cubed. So I need a 0 to hold the place of that x cubed. And I need to know which column it is. That 0 is in the x cubed column. So that is my placeholder. Now I can double check. I have x to the 4th. I have x cubed, x squared, 1x, no x's. Now I'm good to go. I don't have any other placeholders. I have everything there that I need to. I want you to pause the video, try this one out on your own, and then come back when you're done to see how you did. Okay, welcome back. This is what you should have gotten. If you did not get this, I would pause the video now so that you can look over each step, step by step, to see where you went wrong, so then you can fix it and do it right. Now, one thing you may have noticed while you were doing this problem is if you make one little negative mistake, it will get the entire problem wrong. So the biggest piece of advice I can give on long division is double check every step. Every single step, double check and make sure you're doing it right along the way, because one little negative mistake can change everything. So once again, if you didn't get that, pause the video, double check it. I have one last piece of advice. I want to look at number 6 because number 6 is a little weird. You'll see it has this -1 here, and it looks like it's multiplication, not division, which is weird. But we want to go over problems like this because you might have problems like this in your skill check or your homework or your test. Now, this whole problem hinges on the rule that if I have a negative exponent, I can take that whole thing with the negative exponent into the denominator of my fraction. So I take it down into the denominator, and then the negative exponent turns into a positive exponent. So that -1 turns into a positive 1. Now, the cool thing about this, because that's a positive 1, anything to the first power is just itself, so I don't even really need it. So at that point, cool. Now it's an actual division problem. Now, I'm not going to have you go through anything like this because it has 2 letters. In your homework, you're just going to be doing ones with 1 letter. So you can stop at this point. But you can now move on to your in-class practice for stickers as well as your Canvas homework. Make sure that you get both done.